Okay, hi, I'm back. So I've put in approximately 5 tracks so far, and I'm pretty much finished with the back of my head. Now I know that I said on my last video that the next time you'll see me I'll be working on the front of my hair, but what's most important are the sides. It's the way that the sides meet with the front. And so I'm going to turn around to show you what I've done so far. I'm still pretty much at the bottom of my head. I still have all this to do. So I'm going to go ahead and work around because I wanted to show you how quickly the sides connect. So I'm sewing, and I want to make sure that my tracks are at least a pinky space or less apart, depending on how thick you want your hair. Now, my head, I have a small head, and so it's pretty easy for me to get a thick weave. I can go ahead and use 2 packs or maybe like a little less than 2 packs to get my weave the thickness like I want it to. But I mean, if you'll notice, I still have to fill around and make sure that my tracks are pretty close together. I had a horror story with going to the weave shop in New Brunswick, I think I went to, and they put my weave so far apart that my hair was tangling, and I had to constantly brush it, so it meant that I was constantly shedding, and it was just adding to the horror story of my UK hair. And so now I'm coming around to this side, and if you'll notice, I'm starting to go into the territory of the front of my hair. Now, here's the thing. If I were doing my hair like I used to normally do it, I would right now be using tapered hair, and I am using tapered hair, just not for this side. And I'm not using tapered hair for this side because my bangs are going to start way up here, which is why I have this track up here. So if you'll notice, here's some tapered hair, okay? This isn't really a good example because it's not that tapered. I'm sorry, I should have had all this together. Ha! Here's a perfect example. Here's some tapered hair. Do you see how short this hair is over here compared to the longer hair down here? Now, this hair right now is how I'm doing this. This side over here is tapered, okay? Because this side is also going to have to blend with my real hair. Now, my real hair in the front is not very long. I actually have all of my hair around my whole entire head cut to my neck. So if you can see, it goes a little past my ear down to my neck. It's not even to my shoulders, and that's pretty much how long the weave hair goes. And I want to be able to blend all this together. And so for right now, the long 12-inch tapered hair, the tapered end's going on this side and the untapered hair is going on this side, because the tapered hair for my 10-inch, this is a 12-inch, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about, is going to have to go on my head, you see, like this, and it's going to be even more tapered than this. This is just stopping at my lip, and the rest of the hair is blending in to the other side, you see. And so that's why I kind of want the long hair. I really want the long hair to continue up to like about here, and then this is where I want my bang to go. My bang's gonna probably stop the same length as my real bang, nose level. Okay, so I just wanted to come back and show you that little quick tidbit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this track, and I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna show you how much hair I've done so far. It hasn't taken me very long. You know, I'm almost halfway finished with my hair. And here's something I wanted to share with you. I always go back after I'm finished with my hair, and I always check for thickness, because thickness is very important to me, because it helps me blend my real hair with the weave hair. My real hair is very thin. It's not very thin, but it's pretty thin. My hair is pretty fine. Not while it's curly. While it's curly, it looks like it's thick, but it's really, when it's pressed out, it's pretty thin. So the thicker that I have my weave, the better that my hair blends, the better my hair looks, the more natural it is. So here I go with my next step. Now I'm going to start to actually use the anchor braid in the way that it was made for. So I'm going to go ahead and take some hair, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this braid to go around. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm going to start on my anchor braid, and I'm going to use the braid that's right next to it, and I'm going to go around it. Now you see there's a little space right here. It's a little bigger than a pinky in length. It's bigger than what I wanted it to, but that's how I have my braids braided, unfortunately. So that's a point where I'd have to go back and try to thicken up my braids. So from the anchor braid, I'm going to use this braid and go around, and then I'm going to go around, and then that's going to start off the top tracks. So here we are. I'm going to start that off. Here's my threaded needle. Let me cut off the little tail. The tail is a little too long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Now I want my braid, I want my track to go like this. I'm going to go ahead and thread it. Ugh. I hate the dull needles are kind of like a double-edged sword, because they're good, because if you tend to do like me and you're in a hurry, you like hit your scalp, you don't want to have needles sticking out your head, but it's harder to get through the track, so you end up struggling trying to get it through, and you end up yanking and pulling, and it's just so crazy. So I try to use the sharpest needles I possibly can without using surgically sharpened needles. Okay, so I go ahead and I start that track off like that, and I put my thread behind me, and I put my track behind me, because I'm working to the back. So here I am. So I got it down. Now I'm feeling for my braid. There goes my guide braid. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this thread up, because I don't want it to get tangled in the hair, which is another problem a lot of people have, which I wanted to bring up. Please make sure that you pick your thread up so that it's not trailing on the weave on its way through or around the track, because if you do, then you will end up getting hair caught in the thread, which will cause it to bundle and bind, and you'll have to cut it off and start all over again. This is from experience. So it's not like I'm being like a prickler about stuff. I'm just trying to help you out because that takes up time too. If it, you know, not picking up your needle, not picking up your thread so that it doesn't run against your hair will save you valuable minutes, which could turn an 1.5-hour sewing job to a 2.5-hour sewing job. And believe me, I've done it, and I've frustrated myself, and I've had to sit down and not sew, and no, I'm not going to get into it. It's very upsetting. Okay, anyway, so I'm done with this track now. Almost. I'm going to go ahead and I'm almost finished. I'm just going to go ahead and now I'm going through the track again. Actually had to end up going twice because I didn't calculate this right. Twist 3 times. That's just an OCD thing. I'm going to pull the track closed. So now my hair is starting to come together. Okay. Now, if you'll see, it's starting to get thick already. You know, my weave's starting to come along. Okay. I got hair in my mouth. I hate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and detangle. See, snap back here. Look how it looks. All right. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and continue. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off this 12-inch. I opened my 12 taper, so I have my 12-inch. I like to call it trimmed and not tapered, but I have my 12-inch trimmed section. See, here's the trim, So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up. So for the sake of time, I'll be back again.